It's 8. All right. Namo namas sarvebhyah. Greetings to all of you. Sanskrita bhasha shikshane bhavatam hardam swagatam. A heartfelt welcome to you all for Sanskrit learning. So today we are going to start a very important topic, which is Sandhi rules. Saraswati namastubhyam Varade Kamarupani Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada. So I'm going to give a brief overview of the three sandhis, and then we'll discuss the vowel sandhi. So as you all know by now that when two sounds come together in Sanskrit, they combine with one another according to a well-defined set of rules called Sandhi rules. So there are three kinds of Sandhis. Vowel Sandhi. Vowel Sandhi implies change in the vowel. And the vowel Sandhi are of two kinds, internal and external. Internal is within a word. So Vidya plus Alaya. So Vidya ends in a long A. Alaya starts with a long A. So these two combine and become a long A. So A here, so Vid Alaya, Vidyalaya means the house of knowledge, or a school or a college. Then there is an external Sandhi, which is a Sandhi between the ending vowel of one word and the beginning vowel of the next word. So Balika Asti. Balika ends in A. Asti begins with A. These two become a long A. So this becomes Balikasti here. Visarga Sandhi. In Visarga Sandhi, Visarga is either replaced, dropped, optionally replaced, or there is no change. And these rules depend on the letter before and after the Visarga. For example, Balaha Gacchati. So the letter before the Visarga is a short vowel A, and the letter following the Visarga is a soft consonant. So here, this Visarga is replaced by U. And A and U, these are two vowels, and there is a Sandhi, which we will learn a little later, becomes an O. So Balaha Gacchati, after Visarga Sandhi is Balo Gacchati. In Arjunaha Uvacha, the letter before the Visarga is A, and the letter after the Visarga is U, so the Visarga drops. In consonant Sandhi involves either consonant is either replaced, or there is an additional consonant, or there is no change. Again, the rules depend on the letter following the consonant. For example, Shrimat Bhagavat Gita. So ta is a consonant which is followed by a soft consonant bha, and ta is also followed by a soft consonant ga. So this ta becomes da. So Shrimad Bhagavad Gita. So there is a replacement of the consonant ta to da. In Asmin Udyane, in this garden, the consonant na is followed by the vowel u. So there is an additional nakara. Here there are two nas. So Asmin Nudyane. So now we are going to talk about vowel sandhi. Vowel sandhi is also called swara sandhi. Swara is for vowel. It is also called ach sandhi. As you recall back, the pratyahara ach consists of all the vowels. So in an external sandhi, you have a word 1 which ends in a vowel and a word 2 which begins in a vowel. So there is a change in the vowel. So now this vowel, the ending vowel, could be any of the 13 vowels, right? A, I, U, R, R, A, I, O, ow. So these could be 13 vowels. Similarly, the beginning vowel could also be any of the 13 vowels. So in total, there are 169 such combinations. So this is represented by a matrix, which is a 13 by 13 matrix, and it has 169 entries. So the rows are your ending vowel of the first word, and the columns are the beginning vowel of the second word. So e, so on, and e, so on. So here, the colored, there are 6 colors, and these are the 6 Sandhi rules. So like this will be one Sandhi, this green will be another Sandhi, blue another Sandhi, orange another Sandhi, and purple another Sandhi, and yellow another Sandhi. So these 169 entries are filled by 6 Sandhi rules. So the 6 Sandhis are Dirgha Sandhi, Guna Sandhi, Vriddhi Sandhi, Yan Sandhi, Purva Rupa Sandhi, and Ayadi Sandhi. These highlighted in yellow are the corresponding Panini sutras. These 2 Sandhis, Pararupa Sandhi applies to the prefixes, and Prakriti Bhava Sandhi, the 8th one, actually, this is not a Sandhi. It is an absence of Sandhi, meaning even sometimes, in some cases, when there are necessary conditions present, Sandhi does not happen. So let us look at the first Sandhi, which is called a Dirgha Sandhi. You are familiar with this Sandhi. So this Sandhi says that when simple vowels a or a, e or e, u or u, r or r, and r are followed by similar, this is important, similar simple vowel, a single corresponding long vowel replaces both of the simple vowels. For example, the word one ends with either a or a, and the second word begins with a or a, so they will be replaced by a. So there are 4 such combinations: a, 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 or a. So all the 4 combinations will be replaced by a long a. Similarly, the word could end in e or e, begin with e or e, and this will be replaced by a long e. Word could begin with a simple vowel u or u, end with u or u. The second word begins with u or u and replaced by a long u. And r, end with this, begin with this, and will be replaced by the long r. There is no long r, so this doesn't apply to r. So let us look at some examples of the Dirgha Swara Sandhi. Sa, adhuna, atra, anandena, agachati. So adhuna means now, anandena is happily, it is tritiya vibhakti eka vachanam. So she now comes here happily. So now sa ends with a. Adhuna starts with a, ends with a. Atra starts with a and ends with a. Anandena starts with a and ends with a. Agachati starts with a. So these combination a and a will be replaced by a long a. A and A again, long A. So will this be, and so this. So this, after the Dirgha Sandhi, becomes Sadhu Natra Nande Nagachati. So this A and A becomes Sa. Then A and A becomes, sorry, this one here. A and A, long A, which with Na becomes Na. Tra, A, this is long A, and combining with Tra becomes Tra, and A, long A with Na becomes Na. So there are these 4 Dirgha Sandhis here. The next example, Sa, Nari, Imani, Phalani, Ichhati, Iti Mata, Balikam, Vadati. Sa, that woman. Imani is a pronoun. These, it is qualifying phala, phalani, phalam, phale, phalani, bahuvachanam. Ichhati, iti. In Sanskrit, there are no quotation marks. So iti is used as a quotation mark. Mata, balikam, to the girl, vadati, says. So this woman likes these fruits, the mother says to the girl. So sa ends, all right, sa, nari ends in a long E. Imani begins with a small E. Then phalani ends with a short E. Ichhati begins with a short E. Ti, again, ichhati ends in a short E, and iti begins with a short E. So these are all similar vowels. Here there were similar vowels, right? So here E and E becomes a long E. E and E becomes a long E. And similarly here. So this Nari Imani will become Nari Mani. This is Ri. So this long E with Ra becomes Ri, right? Then Phalani, Phalani Ichhati. This will become a long E. So Phalani. Here E and E, long E with Ta becomes Ti. So Ti. So Sanari Mani Phalani Chatiti Mata Balikam Vadati. In this example, Kridatu Udyane Balah. This is a low tilakara. So it means let the boy play. So let the boy play Udyane, in the garden. So Kridatu ends in U, right? And Udyane begins with U. So these 2 U's become a long U. So it will be Kridatu Dhyane. So U with Ta becomes Tu. So again, these are similar vowels. Then Pitra Rinam. This is a compound word. So Pitra ends with Ra. Rinam starts with Ra. So these 2 becomes a long Ra. So it will be Pitranam, the depth of the father. Okay, so now let us look at this matrix again. So what is happening? So this Dirgha Sandhi fills in these 16 entries, these diagonal 16 entries, right? So A and A, ending and beginning becomes a long A. Here it becomes a long A. This ending and beginning A. So this is this block here. And these are similar vowels. Same with happening with the E or E's, long E. Oos, long Oos. R, long R. This is empty because there is no long R. So the Dirgha Sandhi fills in your 16 entries. Now we are going to look at what happens when A and A are followed by dissimilar simple vowels. Here there were similar vowels, right? And here they are dissimilar vowels. So this is called another Sandhi. And the name of the Sandhi is Guna Sandhi. And this Sandhi says that when a or a are followed by dissimilar simple vowels, then when a and r are followed by e or e, both letters are replaced by a. And a is called guna of e or e. I will just explain what a guna is. Then if a or a are followed by u or u, then both letters are replaced by o. And o is called guna of u or u. Then r, if a and a or a are followed by r or r, both letters are replaced by r. And r is called the guna or r or r. And r, if a or a are followed by r, both letters are replaced by al, which is called the guna of r. So guna and vriddhi are technical names assigned to certain vowels in order to facilitate explanations of certain grammatical operations. So here they are used to do sandhis. So the guna of a or a is a, guna of e or e is a, guna of u or u is o, guna of r and r is r, and guna of r is al. We'll leave the vriddhi for now. So one more time, if the word ends in a or a and is followed by e or e, then both are replaced by a. If followed by u or u, then both are replaced by o. Followed by r or r, then both are replaced by r, and followed by r, then replaced by al. So here, if you have, so the first word ends in a or a, second word begins with e or e, so they both are replaced by a. For example, bala ichhati, the girl desires. So bala ends in a, ichhati begins with e, so both are replaced by the guna of e or a. So l and a becomes le. So bala ichhati, after guna sandhi is bale chhati. So bala ends in a, ichhati begins with e, a and e are replaced, both are replaced by a. This a with l and a, so this is a vowel following this consonant. This will become le. So bala ichhati will be bale chhati. Now, if the first word ends in a or a, second word begins with u or u, both will be replaced by o. For example, bala udyane, the girl in the garden. So again, bala ends in a, udyane begins with u, so they both will be replaced by the guna of u, which is o. This o with l, again the vowel o is following the consonant l, will become lo. So it will be balodhyane. So bala ends in a, udyane begins with u. This will both will be replaced by the guna of u, which is o. O combines with l, becomes lo, so it becomes balodhyane. Now the first word ends in a or a, next word begins with r or r. They will be replaced by ar. So here, Brahma ends in a, and Rishi begins with r. So this will be replaced by the guna, which is ar. So now let's look what is happening here. Right. So this is ma. So this is replaced by r. So now in ma you add a, so it becomes ma, right? So here ha is here, and this ma is written like this, right? So ma and a becomes ma. So this is ma, and ra is written here. This is ra, right? So Brahmarshi, right? So Brahma ends in a, Rishi becomes with ra. It is replaced, both of them are replaced by ar, which is the guna of ra. The a of ar with ma becomes this ma here, and this ra is written here. Rishi and ra is written here. So Brahmarshi. This word ends here with a or a, followed by a simple vowel ra, and it is replaced by al, both of them. So for example, this is a compound word. This is also a compound word. So tav and rikara. So tav ends in a. Here this becomes with ra. So these two will be replaced by al. So va and a becomes va, right? And la is a half la, is a consonant. So here it is written like this, la with a vertical line dropped. So tavalkara. Tavalkara is a branch of a Samveda. So in Guna Sandhi, if a or a are followed by e or e, then it is replaced by a. A or a followed by u or u, replaced by o. A or a followed by r or r, replaced by ar, and followed by r is replaced by al. So let's look at some more examples of Guna Sandhi. This is very important. Like vowel sandhis, you will see their use all the time. So sa atra idanim asti. Idanim means now. So she is here now. So now, excuse me, atra ends with a. Idanim starts with e. So a and e are dissimilar vowels. So they both be replaced by a. So tra and a will become tre. So this will be atra, and idanim will be atre danim, right? So atre danim. So, and here there is a dirgha sandhi also happening. Sa ends in a, atra begins with a, so it will be sa. So sa, satre dani masti, right? So there is a vowel sandhi here, so this will be satra, and this there is a guna sandhi a, so satre dani masti, and here ma and a will join to become ma. So satre dani masti. Now let us look at this sentence. Bala ichhati phalani. The girl desires fruits. So bala ends in a. Ichhati begins with e. The two will be replaced by the guna of e or a. So a here, la and a becomes le. So it will be bale chati phalani. Bala Ishwaram namati. The girl salutes Ishvara. Now, Bala ends in A. Ishwaram begins with E. They will be replaced by A. So, L and A becomes Le. So, Baleshwaram namati. Vrakshase upari, on top of the tree. This is Shashti Vibhakti Ek Vishnam, of the tree. Upari means on top. So Vrakshasi end with A. Upari begins with U. So it will be replaced by O. The guna of U, O. So Vrakshasya O pari. Ya with O becomes Yo. So Vrakshasyo pari. This is again a guna sandhi. Bala uttama chhatra asti. The girl is a brilliant student. Uttama means brilliant. This is an adjective qualifying the student. So now here, Bala ends in A. Uttama starts with U. Both will be replaced by O. So it will be Balottama. Balottama. And here there is again a Dirgha Sandhi. Chhatra ends in A. Asti begins with A. So it will be Chhatrasti. So Balottama Chhatrasti. Guna Sandhi here and Dirgha Sandhi here. Bala Rishim Gachati. The girl goes to the sage. Rishim is sage. So Bala ends in A. Rishim starts with R. So these will be replaced by Ar. So now Bala, Bal, Ar, Rishim, Rishim Gachati. So this La and A becomes A La, and this Ra is written here. So Balshim Gachati. The girl goes to the sage. So now let us look what additions happened in the matrix. So we saw this one, right? This was your Dirgha Sandhi. So the Guna Sandhi fills in these for 13 entries, right? Like these were when A and A followed by dissimilar vowels. So A and E becomes A and E again A, then O, with U it is O, R it is R, and R it is Al. And same thing will happen with the long A. So these 13 entries.
14.
Sorry, no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14, sorry, yeah, that's why 14 entries are filled by the Guna Sandhi. So slowly we are going to fill up this entire matrix. So the next Sandhi we are going to talk about is these entries. So now we saw these A or A followed by similar vowels, dissimilar vowels, and now what happens if they are followed by diphthongs, which are A, I, O, O. The next Sandhi will be filling in these 8 entries. All right. So, and this Sandhi is called Vriddhi Sandhi. This Sandhi says that when A or A are followed by A or I, both letters are replaced by I. And A or A followed by O or OW, both letters are replaced by OW. So the word one ends in A or A. The second word begins with A or I. So they both are replaced by I. Word ends with A or A. The next word begins with O or OW. So they are both replaced by OW. So let us look at these examples to see these, how the Vriddhi Sandhi is used. So atra ekah kakah asti. A crow is here. So atra ends with a, and ekah begins with a. So these are dissimilar vowels. A is followed by a diphthong a. So a and a will be replaced by I. So atra ekah will become atraikah. So this I and tra will be trai, atraikah. So atra ekah. Atra ends in a. Ekah begins with a. So this is a dissimilar vowels, and this is a diphthong. So these both will be replaced by I. So tra and I will be trai. So atra ekah will be atraikah kaka asti. Sa eva agachati. Sa, she. Eva will sure, she will sure come, or she will come for sure. So now sa ends in a, and Eva starts with a. So again, a and a, dissimilar vowels, and a is a diphthong. So they both will be replaced by I. And here, Eva ends in a, and agachati begins with a, so there will be a dirgha sandhi here. So sa, I, va, a will be saiva, saiva gachati. So there are two sandhis here. Sa odanam pachati. She cooks rice. So sa ends in a, odanam begins with o. So again, this is a diphthong and a dissimilar vowel. So these both will be replaced by au. So sa and au will be sau. Saudanam pachati. Bala aushadham. Aushadham is medicine. Khadati, the girl is medicine. So bala ends in a. Aushadam begins with au. Both will be replaced by au. So it will be balaushadham. So in the matrix, these eight entries are filled by the Vriddhi Sandhi. So if a ending a followed by a becomes I, ending a followed by I becomes I, ending a beginning o, au, both are replaced by au, and similarly if ending a and au becomes au, and same thing will be happen to a. You have the same thing. So this is, so these three sandhis are, now the dirgha sandhi fills in this block, the guna sandhi this block, and the vriddhi sandhi this block. And we are going to talk, now we're going to talk about this orange block. So orange block is when the E, or these simple vowels follow dissimilar vowels, right? Like these are all, when they follow dissimilar vowels. If they follow similar vowels, then it will be the dirgha sandhi. So E followed by a, or E followed by a. So it is dissimilar vowel. And again, E followed by the rest of these vowels. So when these vowels, E, and U, these simple vowels follow dissimilar vowels, then there is this sandhi which is represented by the orange block. And if they follow similar vowels, then you have dirgha sandhi. So let's see what this sandhi is. This sandhi is called yan sandhi. So yan sandhi says the vowels E or E are replaced by the consonant y if followed by dissimilar vowels. It includes simple vowels and diphthongs. The vowels U or U are replaced by V, consonant vakara, if followed by dissimilar vowels. The vowels R and R are replaced by Refa or R if followed by dissimilar vowels. And the vowel R is replaced by L when followed by dissimilar vowels. So for example, Nadi Asti, the river is here. So Nadi ends in E, long E. Asti begins with the vowel A. So they are dissimilar vowels. And then E will be replaced by the consonant Y. One thing which is very important here, that here only E is replaced by Y. It's not only, there's a replacement only of E, not the both letters are replaced by Y. So this is the difference between the three sandhis which we did, like Dirgha, Guna, and Vriddhi, where both letters were replaced. Here only E is replaced by Y. So Suagatam. Su ends with U. Agatam begins with A. So this U becomes V. And then this Sa and V is Swa, a conjunct. So Swagatam, nice welcome. Sorry, here I forgot. So this Ya and the and Ya will be Nadya. This is a conjunct consonant. So Ya is written below the, right? So here, this is a conjunct Swa and Agatam. So this Sa and Va is Swa. The vertical line of Sa is dropped. Matra Adeshah. Yeah, Matra Adeshah. So Matra ends with R and Adesha begins with A. So R is replaced by R. So Ta and R will be Tra, right? And then with A, so it will be Matra Desha. So here Matra ends in R, Adesha begins with A. These are dissimilar vowels, and this is replaced by R. So Ta and R will be Tra. With A, it will be Matra Desha. R and Akritihi. So R is again is followed by A, dissimilar vowel, replaced by L. So it will be L and A will be Lakriti. Lakriti means a curved form. So let me go over this Sandhi one more time. Yan Sandhi says that the vowels E or E are replaced by Y if followed by dissimilar vowels. U or U replaced by V, R and R replaced by R, and R replaced by L. So they are replaced by Ya, Va, Ra, La, which are your semi vowels, right? So E or E by Ya, U or U by V, R and R by R, and R by L, if followed by dissimilar vowels. So let us look at few examples. Lakshmi agachati. So Lakshmi ends with a long E, and agachati begins with a long A. So they are dissimilar vowel. So this E will be replaced by Ya. So now Ma and Ya are conjunct consonant. So Ma is written like this with a vertical line drop. And Ya and A combined together and they becomes a long Ya. So Lakshmya Gachati. So this is a Yana Sandhi. Jalam Upari Agachati. So now Ma is followed by U. So this will become Mu. There is no Sandhi here, right? So joining. So Mu. But this Upari ends with a E, right? This Upari. Upari, ra and e. And this upari begins with an u. So this e is followed by a dissimilar vowel u. So this e, this e will be replaced by a ya. And here this upari, this next upari also ends in e and is followed by a. So this is a dissimilar vowel. So this e will also be replaced by ya. And then you have an a. So let's see how these letters and words combine. So ra and ya, this is a conjunct consonant. Ra is the first member. So this goes here. Ra is the first member. So it is replaced by ya. And ya and u becomes u. So this is u. Then ra and ya again, this ra goes here and ya with a becomes ya. So jalmu paryu pariyagachati. Let me go over this one more time. So ma and u becomes mu. Upari ends with e. This upari begins with u. This upari ends with e. And this agachati begins with a. So this e followed by u, a dissimilar vowel, it will be replaced by ya. This e follows a dissimilar vowel a, it is replaced by ya. So now this ra and ya is a conjunct. This ra is the first member, so it is replaced by this ra like this. And ya and u will be u. Similarly, ra and ya, here this ra is here, and ya and an a will be a long ya. So jalmu paryu pariyagachati. Next example, sarvam khalu idam brahma. This is a Mahavakya, and it is from Chandogya Upanishad, like Tattvamasi and Aham Brahmasmi and so on. And here, sarvam khalu idam brahma means, sarvam means all. Khalu means indeed. This is an indeclinable. Idam, this. Brahma is Brahman. So indeed, all this is Brahman. So now let us look at the Sandhi. Khalu ends in u, right? Idam begins with e. So these are two dissimilar vowels. So now u will become v, right? U becomes v. So khal v e. So this is again a conjunct consonant, l and a v with no vowel between. So it is a conjunct. So this l is written with a vertical line drop, and v and e is v. So khalvidam brahma. Sarvam khalvidam brahma. Pitra agya. This is a compound word. So pitra ends with r. Agya begins with a. So this will be replaced, dissimilar vowel. This will be replaced by r. And so ta and ra, this is a conjunct. It is tra, which combines with a, becomes tra. Pitragya, father's order. Ra plus akritihi. So ra is replaced by la, lakara, and la plus a becomes la kritihi, having curved body shape. So in this matrix now, we have filled this all in orange is your yarn sandhi. So if e followed by a, then only e is replaced by ya. And in this, if you notice, these letters are in white. So this means both the letters are replaced, and these are in black. So that means only e is replaced. So E is replaced by Y if it is followed by a dissimilar vowel. So here A and R are dissimilar, so it is replaced by Yakara. Here they are similar, E and E, so it is the Dirgha Sandhi, which takes dominance over the Yana Sandhi. And then again, all Ya. U is replaced by Va here, and when it is the similar, then it is the Dirgha Sandhi. And similarly, if ends in U and any dissimilar, then it is Va. Then Ra, Ra, and here again the Dirgha and Ra in both these columns. And here it is La. There is no Dirgha Ra. So now only two more sandhis are left, which we will do in the next class. Oh, sorry. So I'm going to go do this verse from a very important, very famous work from Bhagavad Gita, and it is an excellent example of use of sandhis and interclinables. Natvevaham jatu nasam natvam neme janadhipaha nachaiva na bhavishyamaha sarve vayamatah param. This is verse number 12 from Bhagavad Gita chapter 2. So let's do this Sandhi Vicheda. Natvevaham jatu nasam. So the Sandhi is na tu eva aham. Tvevaham is tu eva aham. And nasam is na asam. So let's do these sandhis and see what they are. So the first sandhi is between tu and eva. So tu and eva. So tu ends with u. Eva begins with a. So u is followed by a dissimilar vowel or a diphthong a. So u is replaced by v. So ta and va are your conjunct. So it is written as twa. And va with a becomes ve. Tvaveva. So this is a yan sandhi. Now tvaveva when combined with aham. Tvaveva aham. Tvaveva ends in a. Aham begins with a. So there is a dirgha sandhi. So this will become a. Tvevaham dirgha sandhi. Na asam. So na is ending in a. Asam is beginning in a. So na is a. Nasam. This is dirgha sandhi. So let's see what this means. Na tvevaham jatu nasam. So na means not. Tu means indeed. Eva means only. Aham I. Jatu ever. Na not. And asam is the verb here. So here you see most of them na, tu, eva, jatu, na. They are all indeclinables. Asam is the verb here. Asam is it comes from the root as. You remember this is a root as, asti, asi, asmi. This is in the past tense. So asam, I was. Asam, I was. So there was never a time when I did not exist. Okay, so let's look at the remaining words. Na tvam neme janadhipaha. So the sandhi is neme. Na ime. Na ime. So na ime. So na ends in a. Ime starts with e. So a is followed by a dissimilar vowel, simple vowel e. So they both are replaced by the guna of e, which is a. And na and a becomes ne. Neme. Neme is a pronoun meaning these. So na tvam. There was never a time you did not exist. So exist, the verb asi. So asi is implied here. Natvam asihi, where you did not exist. Ime janadhipa is the is mean king, and this is in plural, kings. These kings. So na ime janadhipaha asan. Like again, this is implied. So there was never a time when you did not exist, nor there was a time when these king did not exist. All right. Na chaiva na bhavishyamah sarve vayamatah param. There is one sandhi here. Chaiva. Cha eva. So cha eva. Cha ends in a. Eva begins with a. So a and a, this is a vriddhi sandhi, becomes, both are replaced by I. Chaiva. Verb is bhavishyamah, will exist. Like vayam, we will exist, all of us will exist. So bhavishyama comes from the dhatu bhu, and this is the future tense conjugation, bhavishyamah. So sarve means all, vayam we, atah from now, again it is an indeclinable, param after. So nor will any of us cease to exist in the future. So the verse means, never was there a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these kings, nor in the future shall any of us cease to be. So I'm going to end the class with this Gita verse, and let's look at the questions now. All right. Any questions? Yes, Rajkumar.
So, so the sandhis actually introduce a fair amount of complexity. So what is the main value gained, benefit gained by doing the sandhis rather than just representing the words in their simple form?
Well, like let's look at this Gita verse, right? For example, right? Okay, let's look at this Gita word. Now, if you don't break in like tvevaham, like how would you know what this means?
No, my question is, if the written language did not do the sandhi, then you would know what, there is no...
Yeah, if it is no sandhi, then it is fine. But most of the texts and verses are with sandhi.
Okay, so this is, okay, so it was not by design, it is to interpret what exists.
Right. Because like in olden times, it was all spoken, so they joined the swaras together.
Okay, okay. So it is to explain the thing rather than by design creating sandhis.
Right, yeah. Like the breaking of the sandhi is meant to understand what each word considers. Like if it is a very long, for example, if you look at this word, like satre danimasti, right? Like you won't know what, but in the text, this will be what you will see. So in order to understand the meaning, you have to break into the smaller words.
Okay. This is more to explain what exists.
Yeah. Like for example, like this is a perfect example, like jalam upari agaccha. Now this is this long word, jalmu parya gachati. So unless you could figure it out in your head, like you have to break into these, individual words to understand its meaning.
Yeah, thank you.
Kumudji, it is not like when you are singing, there is some matra or something. That's why the sandhi help.
No, I didn't understand your question, Arvind.
So when you sing the slokas, the certain number of the word or character, right? I don't know the actual word, but for singing purpose, if the sandhi is viched, then you cannot sing properly.
No. Yeah, like even in Gita verses, when you recite, you only break it at the quarter. You don't break the Sandhi when you are chanting it. Like, for example, in this verse here, like this the Gita Shlokam, which I just did. So you will, here it was, but like you will break it here if there is a Sandhi. But if there is no Sandhi, then you won't break it. But in between, like you will not, in chanting, you will not say Natu eva aham jatu na asam. You will say Natu eva aham jatu na asam. So you don't break in when you are chanting. Is that your question?
No, that's true, but I think I don't know the right wording, but when you are reciting, there are certain number of words, and if you do the Sandhi Vichhed, it's difficult to sing or recite.
That's what I am saying. Like if you do Sandhi Vicheda of this verse, then chanting will become very difficult.
Okay.
Right. So then when you are chanting, you don't, in this meter, you only break it here. Like when then the Sandhi is broken. Otherwise, you don't break it. Like you won't say Natu eva aham. You will say Tveva aham when you are chanting or reciting or singing.
Yeah, what I was referring, like in 15th chapter, there are two different metering and ragas, right? When you recite those 15 chapters, certain sloks are recited in a certain way. That's what I mean.
Yeah. Like in chanting or reciting, you don't break the Sandhi unless the meter requires it.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to ask you, like the next class is December 21st. Is like, will most of the people will be in town or will be able to attend, or should we cancel that class as close to the Christmas and holidays?
Kumuji, I'll be here, but you can take a poll on the WhatsApp group. That may be the best.
Okay. There are two, like one is 21st and the next is 28th. I'm available on both dates. I'm not traveling, so I could teach, but it depends how many will you be able to attend.
I think if you do it on the WhatsApp group, then everybody can say whether they can.
Okay. Amit, you had a...
Yeah, I had my...
21st.
Can you hear me or not?
Yes, I can hear you, Amit.
Okay. I think we have beaten it to the ground, but what I was gonna say is my understanding has been Sandhis make it easy to pronounce Sanskrit. So that was a reason for having them. And like we were also talking, whether you have Anushtuk Chanda or other Chandas, like a lot of Gita is in that. I think what you have been trying to answer is when you break the sandhis or not. I think the question was more along why do we have sandhis? And my general understanding was sandhis are there to help pronounce Sanskrit, whether it's singing or spoken Sanskrit.
Yeah, and also like it is very natural. Like for example, if you say Maha Isha, then and E will automatically natural with the Mahesha.
That's
right.
true.
So in spoken, when the Sanskrit was a spoken language, that's how they, because when the two sounds came together, that was a natural way, to combine them. But when you now, in order to understand them, right, then you have to break them. And then there are rules how to break those words.
That's true.
So Kumudji, the two words I'm looking at, this is Sureka. The Swagatam, we use that word all the time, right? I mean, it's a well-known word, but I had never heard the word Lakruti.
Lakriti, like Ra is a very uncommon, you don't find words, but Lakriti is used sometimes for Lord Krishna as a curved body.
Oh, okay.
So, but the use of r, like this vowel, you don't find many words. Because there's no dirgha, and you will find very few words with r in them. Either beginning or ending, or is a very few words are there.
Thank you for letting me know, because
Lakriti is sometimes used for Lord Krishna as having a curved body.
Interesting. Yeah. Thank you.
Kumuji, I have a question. Is there sometimes the possibility of ambiguity, especially with respect to the dirgha sandhi? Because whether the first word ends with an or an a, or the second word begins with an or an a, unless you know the specific ending and beginning, when you do the vicheda, it could be either assignment.
Could you repeat the question of dirgha sandhi? Let me hear.
So, for example, in dirgha sandhi, it says it's either followed by or an a becomes an a.
Yeah.
Correct? So in some sense, when you're doing the vicheda, you have to know. Take an example like that. The example you had earlier. The example that.
This one. Yeah.
Yeah. See, sa adhuna, right?
Right.
When you see sa adhuna, in some sense, you kind of have to know that the a goes with the sa and the goes with the dhuna. It could have been sa adhuna. You see, I'm saying there's some ambiguity there, but you have to know that this is the right.
Right. Again, this all comes with practice. You have to know that if you have this word, look, this is what, if somebody which says why there is sandhis, look at this long word, so in order to understand the meaning, you have to break. Yeah. So your question was that how would you know that this is composed of two words, sa and adhuna, right?
No, that's not the question. That's not the question. The question is, if I see this, I could break it also, keeping the sandhi rules correct. I could still break it as sa adhuna as opposed to sa adhuna.
No, you cannot. You cannot,
No, you
because
cannot.
there is no word as sa.
Exactly. That's my point.
Either you would have sa with the visarga sa, which is he, but you cannot have just sa.
I see. So that's the reason why.
So you see, you could break it, but then they have to be meaningful words. You cannot arbitrarily break it in any. You cannot say sa and adu, right? You cannot do that, because sa is not a proper word, and adu is also not a proper word. So the words have to be meaningful. They should have some meaning, right? They should be proper words.
Exactly. So I agree with you. So my next question then is there ever an example where there's actually true ambiguity? It could be broken either way and both are meaningful. I'm just curious.
I think that, I remember reading somewhere that you could break it into let me find an example. If I could, I will post it. If I come across an example where you could break it into two ways.
Right, exactly. Yeah, that'd be nice. Thank you.
Yeah. I think there is I recall I have seen an example where you could break in two, reasonable two ways. Yeah.
Murji, actually, I had when you described this one, explained this one, I had actually the same doubt. Is sadhu a root?
Sadhu is not a root. Sadhu is a word. No, sadhu is
no, not a root. Is a pratipadikam sadhu?
I have to check, Rajkumar.
Because then it could be sadhuna atra ananden agachati.
But again, sadhuna is not a munina. No, sadhuna is not a word.
No, sadhuna would be the tritiya vibhakti of sadhu, right?
Munina, tritiya, sadhuna. Let me, I have to.
Baby, you want to take your inhaler?
Sadhuna, let me just check. Just one moment. Shishuna, yeah, sadhuna would be the tritiya vibhakti. I have to check if sadhu is a pratipadikam or not.
Yeah, because otherwise it becomes sadhuna atra adanten agachati.
Let me just see what example. Yeah, so what you are saying, it should be, yeah, so you could have it, yeah, here. So sadhuna atra, you could have, but then your sentence will be with the sadhu. So maybe sadhuna atra, here with the sadhu. You're right. Yes.
So that's the example of ambiguity potentially.
Yeah. If you have, like, if you just had a sadhuna atra, then it will be right with the sadhu here.
Ananden agachati. I come here with the sadhu, with joy.
I go with the sadhu with joy. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. But we have to see whether sadhu is a pratipadikam or not. I have to check that.
The other thing which I just wanted to suggest regarding the 21st and 28th poll, WhatsApp has now a built-in polling feature. So questions can be constructed and then people just yes or no, so the count comes right there.
Okay. Yeah, this is an interesting thing which you pointed out. Sadhuna atra. Yeah. So if sadhu is a pratipadikam, then yeah. So anyway, the folks present here, like, will you all be available on 21st?
Like
I'm available.
Yeah, I'll be available.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm available. I will take up this thing on the WhatsApp and then decide.
I think 28th might be harder, but 21st is definitely more likely to be okay for most people.
Because I just don't want to break this. We have 2 more vowel sandhis, so I want to complete that. Otherwise, if we break it, then what is this? How will you break the word? Chit atma. I will write it in the give the reply on the WhatsApp. It will be chit atma avloka. I will write this. I will put the answer on the WhatsApp. Okay.
Kumuji, if we wanted to say, let's say, in Sanskrit, if we can have class next week, how would you say it? I'm curious.
Don't put me on the spot right now.
I was just like, okay.
I will write it on the WhatsApp.
Okay, that would be good.
So that the grammar and everything is correct.
My
I'm not a Sanskrit that like I don't speak in Sanskrit, so
So, my grandson came and say, okay, Daddy, you're learning Sanskrit, so say this sentence, what did we have for dinner today, or something like that. And I was just curious,
you just want the grammar and all to be correct. Like, I know what to say, but I don't want to make a mistake.
No. I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
No. I will, maybe these common use sentences, I will put Sanskrit.
It will be nice. Yeah,
I will put the Sanskrit, the day-to-day sentences which we use. Some of them, I will put them.
Yeah. Or are you resting, or something simple sentence. It will be nice to so then I think it will be good for me to tell my grandson, or like, what I'm saying?
Yeah,
because
I'll do that.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Maybe we can all start conversing in Sanskrit, simple Sanskrit.
That would
be like, you should take Sanskrit Bharati classes where they don't let you speak in they don't let you speak in English or Hindi. Like,
Yeah, one of my friends, he takes that, but they do it every day. Every day they speak in Sanskrit.
Yeah. No, like Sanskrit Bharati also has these classes online where they teach in Sanskrit, and if you listen, like you are able to. But speaking is, it just you want the grammar to be correct. Yeah.
Sureka, you and I can talk in Sanskrit once she teaches us few sentences.
At least I want to know few like a common sentences, because I think that would because my goal is not just me learning, but also kind of pass on to the next generation that why Sanskrit is so important, why is it such a good language, and all that. And it would be nice to kind of let them know,
No, I'm right. Like, what is your name? My name is.
Yes,
simple,
exactly.
simple phrases. I will put them.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Great idea. Super, Sureka. Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, then. Good night, everybody.
Okay,
Lovely
good
class,
night.
Kumuji. Again, thank you so much.
Thank you so much,
Are
Kumuji.
you finding the homework, easy, difficult? Like it's
No comments.
no comment.
The homework actually is fun because it's. I think it'll get even more fun now because now it's like a detective story to figure out what the Sandhi is.
Yeah, no, now the interesting part has started. Like now the real, so after you learn these sandhis, then we could do so much more. So all right.
Thank you. Thank you
Okay.
so much, Kumuji.
All right. Good night, everybody. Bye.
Good night.
Right.
Thank you. Bye.